G'day there, it's Dan here again from Pilates with Dan with our next tutorial exercise to do with the hip and pelvis. So previously we've done clams and side lie, abduction and adduction, and now we're going to introduce our first prop that you need to use. This is the magic circle. These are varying qualities that you can get around the place, but here in Canberra in Australia you can get a reasonably good one fairly cheaply from places like Kmart and Target. So if you don't already have one, you can invest in one, and we're going to show you a whole bunch of exercises in upcoming tutorials to do with the magic circle. The first one we're going to show today is what we consider to be probably the first introductory exercise with the magic circle, and it's to do with your inside thighs, your adductors. So we call this one the magic circle basic adductor squeeze. Okay, so you're going to be laying down supine on your back, and this is always a bit fun. We're going to, well, fun in a certain way, we're going to be positioning the magic circle between the legs. Now, the way I like to position it is upright, so it's kind of standing upright like that, not horizontal or parallel to the floor. Okay, so it's upright. The position between the legs is above the knee joint. Okay, so not on the knee joint, but just slightly above it. It's much more comfortable that way, and a little bit happier for your knee joints as well. Now, with the feet, I want your feet to be flat on the floor and as close together as you can get them, which means you want to try and have the feet side by side if you can. Okay, if that's not going to happen for you today, have them as close as you can. Okay, but we want them fairly close. All right. So laying down, you're going to return the pelvis into a neutral position, whatever neutral is for you. One thing I want you to watch for is, as you're going to be moving the magic circle, I don't want the pelvis to move. I want all the action to be in the inside thighs. Now, the shape of the magic circle obviously is round. We're going to take it from a round shape and apply pressure using the legs, trying to be even, to change the shape of the magic circle more to a straight-sided circle, like a racetrack. Okay, and then release that pressure. It's done slowly and deliberately. I want you to feel those inside thigh muscles, those adductors. So squeezing and releasing, nice and slowly. Squeezing and releasing. Sometimes I think the magic circle is kind of following the pattern that you're using with your breath. The ribcage pulls in, the magic circle squeezes, and then it releases. And squeezing and releasing. Now, for a set of these, we normally do about 12 to 15. Okay, and close to the end of your range, at the end of the number there, end of the repetitions, we might get that little tremor of truth that I quite often talk about in classes. And squeeze, I'm already getting it, and release. And I'm going to do 4 more because I think that will do me. And squeeze and release. Notice I'm not moving the pelvis, it's just the inside thighs working. I'm trying to get both to work evenly. Okay, and this is a chance for, sometimes you may want to watch what's happening through your legs. If you do so, just be mindful of what's happening through the head and neck. And squeeze, that's plenty, I think, and resting down. Now, if you don't have a magic circle at home, so that's a basic exercise. If you don't have a magic circle at home, you can replicate the activity of the inside thighs with a cushion, sort of getting it sort of that big and squeezing it, but you're missing out a little bit. So you're working inside thighs, but you're missing out on the quality of the magic circle that pushes out. Okay, that you're having to resist. So that's why having one of these in your little toolkit at home is actually not a bad little investment. Now, to advance this exercise, once you've done and are comfortable with the basic one, usually it corresponds with you advancing with your other exercises as well. Doing the same sort of motion, but this time taking it into the air, okay? So here, we're just applying pressure, trying to again maintain that neutral spine, that neutral pelvis, whatever neutral is for you, okay? But taking it in the air adds a new dynamic, adds a new complexity to the movement, which is sometimes fun to do. The other way we advance this in a mat class here at Pilates with Dan is we ask you to hold things for a bit longer and change the angle of the hip. And what I'm talking about there is instead of having the feet side by side, we slowly start to take them out wider and wider, okay? So taking them out one step wider, working with that angle for a little bit. Then taking them out another step wider, working with that angle a little bit. By changing the angle, we're asking the inside thigh muscles to do slightly different things. And that's kind of what the whole practice of the hip and pelvis exercises is all about. Trying different things, trying different movements, and seeing how that affects your hips and pelvis. Good luck.